Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gold Rush Football Podcast on Gold Rush Football TV. What a day to be alive, and this is the first episode in 2025. Happy New Year, guys, and I want to say I'm very, very sorry for not dropping episodes for the beginning of this year. As you know, a lot of logistics is involved, coming to this podcast and recording, and also having my guys. Some of them had to come from a very far distance to this podcast, but let me bring on the guys. I have Moses here, and I also have Wale. Together with me, we'll be doing this and talking the beautiful game of football and what we love talking best. Moses, how far are you doing?
I'm here. The sky is no longer as blue as it used to be.
Oh, yeah?
The pressure is getting worse.
It's getting worse.
According to my Ghanaian brothers.
All right, Wale, how far now you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's good to be back, especially when you are 8 points clear on top of the log. I mean,
hey,
there's no better time to be on the podcast.
Well, he has the bragging rights. As a Liverpool fan, what more can we say? A Liverpool fan, Liverpool are at top of the league and also in the Champions League. Let's get started, and we'll be starting from the Champions League. We saw the draws, and then last week we saw the draws and the playoffs. We saw a couple of matches which was entertaining. Also, having two giants played in the playoff, not even the round of 16. At the beginning of the Champions League, we saw it that, there was a lot of conversation about, the Champions League, how is it going to be, the new phase, people were high, there was a lot of highbrows, how was it going to be, but so far so good. It's been good, and we'll be going to the round of 16. But we started from the first fixture, which it's got people talking. That's the derby, the Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. Moses, while neither of these two teams will want this fixture. Am I lying?
You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm not sure they want these fixtures, but it is the new format, and I think this is the reason why they are playing each other.
Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid.
I think Madrid put themselves in this position where they have to play Atletico. If they had been among the first good 8 teams, probably they won't be talking about Atletico right now. But it makes Champions League what Champions League is. So it's an exciting feature as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid through 2024-2025, the last two meetings it ended in a draw. The neither side couldn't break each other, and then Diego Simeone he has a lot of let me say neck-breaking fixture coming his way. You'll be facing Real Madrid twice. You'll be facing Barcelona 3 times. One in the Copa del Rey, one in the league, and
it's not sleeping. I had one fan say that. Diego Simeone won't be sleeping till the end of April.
Right. Now let's go deep into Real Madrid. They find themselves playing in the playoff of the Champions League. Like the last phase of the Champions League, which we always have the 4 teams in the group stage, and then Real Madrid will definitely scale through. But this new phase this new format of the Champions League saw Real Madrid playing the playoff, and who did they play? They played the Manchester City. Pep Guardiola and his boys. Moses, Wale, what has happened to Pep Guardiola? This is one of the biggest coach in world football. This is Manchester City that dominated the world football. They can't just keep a clean sheet. They can't just. Every team always take their chances against Manchester City these days. What's going on? What's happening?
I think for me, I'm not surprised at what we saw between Real Madrid and Manchester City, because we've seen a Pep that is vulnerable for the first time in his coaching career. While he was in Barcelona, while he was in Bayern, until his days in City in the last 6 years or 7 years, this is the most vulnerable Pep we've seen. He's been struggling for so many reasons this season, and he's fallen down that below the expectation that we expect from him. So to me, I wasn't surprised that they went to Bernabeu and just crumbled the way they did. I was even expecting...
There was no fight.
There was no fight. I was expecting it to be more than what it was.
Because we saw their glimpses at the Etihad, the first leg, the expectation was like, okay, yeah, when they come to the Santiago Bernabeu...
That was the only hope they had of scaling through. If they had beaten Real at least 2-0, they stand at least 40-50% chance of qualifying. But the fact that Real stole that last-minute goal, I knew the only chance they had is almost going to the Bernabeu to turn it around with this Manchester City's It's not possible.
I mean, we're not going to take anything away from from Real Madrid, but again, we saw so many comments, after the game that this is a very crazy, a very useless City side, so to say, because Real Madrid also have their own flaws. They've not been doing well, but they just picked this form in a couple of matches, even before this game, they weren't that spectacular. The front three, should we call it the four guys up front, Jude Bellingham, Rodrigo, Vinicius, and Mbappe, they are not gelling together, but right now, I think, should we say Mbappe is now in one of his best form at the moment, because he single-handedly gave this Real Madrid this win, and it's something we need to talk about. Are Real Madrid back, or is it City's uselessness, should I say, being not performing at the highest level at this time?
For me, I would say Madrid are gradually playing well. They still have their own injuries to battle with,
Right.
especially to defenders like Alaba, Rodrigo, and some of these guys. But I feel I saw this coming. When you win like 3 trophies, that means you must have played too many games.
Right.
What you're supposed to do as a coach is do the right replacement at the right time. So I think Guardiola is the architect of his own problems right now. Forget about the off-pitch problems. This is what he loves to do. He doesn't even have a replacement for De Bruyne, and it was evident in some games, even when Rodri was around, that whenever De Bruyne did not play, they struggled to create. Rodri's absence also is a major reason why they are like this. But I feel, Guardiola just did not do what he's supposed to do. And for Madrid, this is scary because I don't want them to pick this form, especially at this time of the season.
And you can't bet against Madrid.
No, you cannot. You cannot, because they always have the backing of. I keep saying it. Larry doesn't want me to talk about the officiating. It favors them a lot, especially Madrid in Europe. They will just call a penalty for them or whatever. But let's see. There are so many stronger teams in the round of 16, and I feel you can't give it to them right now. I'm not sure even the bookies are giving to Madrid to win it, but let's see.
Oh yeah, we'll still talk about City, but again, Moses, we can't take anything away from Diego Simeone's side. The first leg is going to play at the Santiago Bernabeu. That's talking about Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid in the round of 16. While the second leg, the return leg, will be played at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. That's the Atletico Madrid Stadium. Is that not going to be an advantage for Tico? Because again, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, Tico don't have a very good record against Real Madrid in Champions League.
Yeah.
But overall, Atletico Madrid has a very good record against City. But when we talk about Champions League, Real Madrid always edge them out. But again, they will be playing the return leg at the Metropolitano Stadium. Is that going to be an advantage for Tico?
Yeah, definitely is going to be an advantage, but it also depends on what they play in the first leg.
And that was what we expected last season in the Champions League, because they were so rubbish in the first leg against Inter.
Exactly.
Inter knocked them out. The score should have been 5-6-0 if Lautaro Martinez and the other guys have converted their chances. But again, this is.
I think for me, Real Madrid, even when they are in bad form, they have a way they play their football. Real Madrid know how to execute football. Even when they are not playing well, they still win games because of that experience.
Individual differences too as well.
Is an OG when it comes to Champions League football. He's been there, done that. He knows what it means to win the Champions League as against the Diego Simeone. If Atletico Madrid stands any chance of qualifying, it is in that first leg. If they can get a draw, if they can go there, if I were Diego Simeone, I'll play negative football.
Which we should be expecting, because this game is
I'll go
to
to Bernabeu, pack the balls, defend, and then come to Metropolitano and then try to ruffle shoulders and see what happens. That's the only way out. Because if you think this Atletico team is not a team that I believe can go to Bernabeu and get a 2-0 or 2-1 win, it's almost impossible. And then Real Madrid have a way, even in the 91st, 92nd minute, if they need that one goal, they have a way of getting it. So it is only when you play negative. Jose Mourinho played the negative football against them every time he meets them, because he knows that's the only way he can get a result, especially in an attacking team like, let's say, Barcelona and Real Madrid. So I expect him to be negative home and away. History will not remember.
We want around football, right?
Yes, history will not remember the negativity,
right?
The fact that he won the UCL.
Wale, who takes this time? Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid.
Both teams are in form, actually. I think they have Atletico is
and also
currently
these two teams, they are head to head in the league as
in
well.
the league.
They have 3 leagues running: Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. So it's something which anyone who goes out of this will have the bragging rights. So who takes this?
For me, I still feel Madrid because of the history of the game between Atletico and Madrid. But I mean, I'm not gonna.
They have the best player in the world, arguably one of the best players in the world.
One of the best players, not the best player. He's one of the best players. Yeah.
Right. Moses, who takes this?
I'll give it to Real Madrid at the end of it.
Madrid for me too.
I'll put my money on
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. But I'm a lover of underdogs, so I want Atletico to go through. But
all right, this is Gold Rush Report podcast on Gold Rush Report TV. We're thinking about coming back on the audio podcast as well. We'll be doing that. Let's say give us a couple of weeks. I think everything should be done, and by then we'll be having the audio podcast, so you can also because I've been hearing so many feedbacks, getting feedback from our listeners that some of them they do drive a long drive, while in the car they listen to our podcast, while driving in their car, and it gives them that alertness and that that vibe while they're on the road. So we'll be doing that for our lovers, and then we'll be trying to get you. We'll update you on that. Follow Gold Rush Football Podcast on Instagram and also subscribe on YouTube at Gold Rush FDTV. Guys, let's go to the next fixture. We just talked about the derby in Madrid. Now let's go to Germany. Atletico, Bayern Leverkusen and Bayern Munich, Vincent Kompany and Xabi Alonso. Before this round of 16, we thought it was going to be, Real Madrid would favor a Bayern Leverkusen than playing this Atletico Madrid. But we didn't see that. There's a tie in Germany. There's also a tie in Spain. Guys, Vincent Kompany, he hasn't been convincing. We saw the game against Celtic. If not for Celtic, Celtic is a very big team, but it's a very low budget.
yeah,
They gave Bayern Munich.
True.
they were like clockstars.
Yeah, they gave Bayern Munich a run.
I think they scored first.
They scored first, and if they are taking their chances in the first 10-15 minutes, the game would have been.
They could have killed the game. Yes.
Bayern Munich. We saw what Feyenoord did to Bayern Munich also in the league phase of the Champions
Final
League.
game. Yeah.
Guys, Vincent Kompany, is everything all right? Will Bayern Leverkusen, because again they are on top of the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
But that's not a reflection of Bayern Munich's season. Right now, if you say the best team in Germany is Bayern Leverkusen, not Bayern Munich, what should we be expecting from these two teams?
For me, Bayern have not been convincing, despite the fact that they are the leaders in the Bundesliga, and they are equally playing a team. They have played, I think, twice this season, maybe once or twice. They've drawn them.
Guys, for the past 6 seasons, with Xabi Alonso and the affairs of Bayern Leverkusen, Bayern Munich have never.
They have not.
Beaten Xabi Alonso.
They have not.
Xabi Alonso is, there is never a win against Bayern Leverkusen Xabi Alonso in Bundesliga. And also, don't forget, Bayern Munich, they're out of the DFB Pokal.
Yes.
If they're out of this Champions League, should we be saying goodbye to Vincent Kompany? Guys.
I think it will be judged by the league.
Because being on top of the league doesn't matter with the Bayern hierarchy right now. Because they are just pretending everything is good. We all see what's going on. We know things are not going good. But we know because this is the same defense that we talk about under Thomas Tuchel, Upamecano and Kim. They play like we have a lot of schoolboys errors. And this is what is giving the vibes of Thomas Tuchel defensive errors last season. And this is what is going on again with Vincent Kompany.
Because of the fact that Bayern struggled to find their first 3, 4, 5 from the reports we were hearing, that Vincent was the 10th or 11th.
Was the 6th choice. And Xabi Alonso is their number 1 choice. Now,
if they win the league, trust me, I don't think they'll fire, because at the end of the day, your front job is only for Champions League and other things.
Do you think so, Wale? You believe that? You believe he's going to retain it?
I don't think so. Why I don't think so is because at some point,
when you are out of the Champions League in the round of 16 against your rivals with a very low budget, it's disgraceful. I mean, that's not speaking of you well. Again, you are also out of the DFB Pokal. You are out of the Champions. If this is just an I mean, we are just hypothetically,
Analyzing. Yeah.
If Bayern are out of the round of 16 and losing against Bayern Leverkusen, if they are lost against other teams
and they win the league, so you have to add that.
If they win the league, and they're out of the Champions League in the round of 16, we already know they're out of the DFB poker. They'll be left to just one league. Does that still give Vincent company?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So Bayern lost not just the league last season; they lost their dominance in the German Bundesliga.
Right.
That's the first thing they lost.
For the first time in donkey years.
Yes, but sometimes when you lose a league, the way you lose, the manner at which you lose the league is what we are going to look at. Now, you talked about having the 6th choice coach at the helm of affairs. So it's not something they are even pleased with. You understand? So him staying is a doubt. Now, if he loses the league, even if he wins the league, just as Moses said, if they win the league, Bayern has always won the league, so it's not really a big deal. You understand? They've always wanted to, take that dominance from Germany to Europe.
Right.
So
that's what Bayern Munich have always
that's what they are known for. I think they have about maybe 3 or 5 Champions League. I know they are one of the biggest teams in
Champions League. Bayern will come to you and dominate.
Yes.
I mean, their league performance it's exceptional, but also in Europe, when it comes to you, they always come big. Yeah. But again, we've not been seeing that Bayern. Look at the league phase. It's just like a school. Look at different schools.
Even the game,
and also Vincent Kompany celebrating the playoffs. Qualifying against Celtic. We just pretending everything is fine.
Yeah, that is not what Bayern Munich are known for. So I don't see, even if he wins the league, I think they will still they will still go out, to change him at the end of the season.
Who comes out of the side?
I will give it to Bayern based on experience, because Leverkusen shown me last season that they
can bottle.
Yeah, they can bottle, and they don't have that Champions League.
Credit to Ademola Lookman for showing us.
Even when they went to Europa, you see the way Atlanta dislodged them like an ordinary team. So I will put my money on Bayern to still go through against Leverkusen.
Wale,
I would not give it to Bayern Munich. I'll give it to Bayern Leverkusen. This is not a final, and the fact that Atlanta dislodged them in the final, doesn't mean that I should write them off.
Right.
For me, I'll be giving it like 80% to Bayern Leverkusen, because they have even met this season. Bayern could not even score a goal. So
it's Bayern Leverkusen for you.
Bayern Leverkusen for me.
All right, guys, let's move on. We have another tie which we'll be talking about. We have Hansi Flick and his boys. Barcelona will be taking on Benfica. In the league phase, we had this tie. It happened in Portugal. Benfica, Barcelona, it ended in a goal thriller, 5-4. Yeah. A lot of schoolboys errors. I mean, a lot of errors with the defenders and the likes. It's something which Barcelona should they be wary of this Benfica side, or should Benfica just go all out and play this Barcelona? What do you guys think of this fixture?
For me, I'll give it to Barcelona. I'll give it to Barcelona. Like, it's 100% for me.
100%.
100-0. Because sometimes when we talk about these big teams, Porto, Benfica, when they meet a bigger team, they cave in. They don't play what you expect them to play. I don't know what you think, but I feel Barcelona will have this. It's going to be easy.
You talk about a bigger team. Moses, I don't want us to... I still want to go back there. Calling Barcelona a bigger team.
Yes.
Right now...
So I disagree with Wale, because I'll go with Benfica, because they are not playing badly in the Champions League. Because right now, this Barcelona team is not the Barcelona of 4-5 seasons ago. This is a Barcelona team that I can say probably because of their history, they are just one step ahead of this Benfica in this fixture. So Benfica, in the history of Champions League, if they have been meeting Barcelona, this is the only time they have a large percentage of possibility of scaling to ahead of this Barcelona team. We've seen the way Barcelona have been dropping from, even in their league.
True.
The way they started. So if I were the coach of Benfica, I would be telling these guys, this is the best time you can beat this team. So I'm giving it to Benfica this time.
I see Wale smiling.
Yes, I'm smiling because I know of a Rafinha that has 28 goals and assist contribution right now, and that is not a child's play. You don't talk about a team like that. A team that has a Ballon d'Or contender, right now. He has a team that has one of the brightest stars in football, Lamine Yamal, one of the oldest, and one of the most experienced strikers in the world, Lewandowski. You're talking. No, I mean, you may not like him, but whether you like it or not is giving those guys some ginger. I don't see Benfica. Even from the first leg, it would end from the first leg. For me, it's an opinion, and you don't have to take it.
Well, Barcelona. You talk about three guys, Rafinha, Yamal,
and Lewandowski.
Lewandowski. I think we're going to open another podcast.
You have a problem with Lewandowski, like. Well, he hasn't been scoring, but
let me know what you guys think about the front three of Barcelona and how who's going to make impact and how who's going to come out of this tie between Barcelona and Benfica. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section, guys. Let's talk about the Gunners. The Gunners will be playing PSV, right? They'll be playing PSV.
Yes, PSV. Eindhoven. Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
Is it a banana peel for Atletico boys? And then what you guys think about that?
I think Arsenal is close to their last bus stop. Usually, it is usually around 16 or quarterfinal. So,
oh my God,
they are butlers. When it comes to the Champions League.
This is serious.
They will definitely bottle it at the round of 16.
If you are watching this is Gold Rush Football Podcast, and the man speaking right now, his name is Moses, and he's a Chelsea fan. Follow him on Instagram at Ijem Moses.
Arsenal fans should please give it to him.
Just say hello to him. Say hello to Moses on Instagram at
oh my God, Moses, that is.
You can go ahead, sir.
I think Arsenal have gotten to their last bus stop. Going by how we know Arsenal to be. They have an inexperienced coach. Arsenal fans may not like this, but it's the truth. They have a coach who doesn't know what it means to win the Champions League. They have a coach who has not played in the highest level in the Champions League. They have a coach who doesn't know what it means to lift an European trophy. Even the club itself, Arsenal itself, is struggling. They don't have an European trophy to their name. So for me, Arsenal have gotten to their last bus stop. If they manage to stay through PSV, they won't go beyond the quarterfinals.
Because we saw the bracket, this bracket which Arsenal in the Champions League, it's one deadly bracket. We have the other side of the bracket, which
Madrid.
I mean, a lot of people say it's favorable, for the other bracket. But if they should qualify against PSV, they're still going to meet the winner between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. But again, with their Arsenal without a striker, a lot of injuries, and Odegaard not in form, it's been back and forth, and also the golden boy, Bukayo Saka has been sidelined for a couple of weeks now, and it's not a good time for Arsenal. But I think Arsenal will scale through against PSV. Wale, what do you think?
I also think Arsenal will scale through. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Moses will do that to Arsenal fans. Make sure you follow everyone on Instagram because they will come for you. But I mean, if Arsenal had the likes of Saka come back at the right time, or Kai Havertz come back at at the appropriate time, I would say. I mean, I'm just saying.
Kai
Havertz, yes, yes. I mean, sometimes he fumbles, but he's one of their best, one of their good attackers. So I would have given Arsenal like an 80-20 chance because forget about PSV being impressive in the playoff round. When it comes to the experience, Arsenal has the experience.
Right. But remember,
as a team,
last season, Porto, we know Porto won the Champions League.
What experience are you talking about, Wale? Because they don't go beyond the round of 16 or quarter.
Thank you. So when you talk about experience, you talk about a team that is. When was the last time PSV got to this quarterfinal, semi-final that you are talking about? Is it that they lose out of the group stage?
Right.
So this is an Arsenal team that has always played consistently. This is not consistently. Yeah. You understand? So that's what I'm saying about the experience. It's not about getting to the semi-final, final. So I feel Arsenal has the edge.
Right.
I'm just looking at how blunt the attack is. I don't see where the goals will come from, and that is football. Whoever
When
scores.
PSV come to you, they're not a side that sits back.
Exactly.
They come all out. And
Did you see the goal Bakayoko scored against Liverpool?
Yeah.
Selling Kwanzaa and Robertson,
yes,
you know,
so-
off. So
But again,
I mean,
notwithstanding, I still think Arteta will find a way to skate through and get.
he needs somebody up front.
Yeah,
He's stepping down from the bus. That's what we say. That's his last bus stop. When you get to your bus stop, you drop.
I think he's going to
He's
scale
the
through.
driver, conductor,
One of my New Year's resolution is that sleeping from banter, no matter how the banter is coming closer, I will try as much as possible to zip my mouth, because that thing has been putting me in a lot of trouble. So this year, I talked to God. I said, this year, I don't wash my hands. But my guys, you got the flow. All right, guys, let's talk about the reward which Liverpool got. Liverpool and the slot, for topping the league in the Champions League. They got the reward of playing.
I think
PSG.
that's the most interesting fixture.
Playing PSG.
What do you mean by reward?
Wale, I mean, that's kind of.
What? That's one of the most informed teams in Europe right now.
When I say reward, you should get you should go and get it.
Okay.
So
The Dembele's and
getting PSG with topping the Champions League. Why don't people make? Why don't people touch?
Let me go first, Larry.
Because this PSG side, if we say 3 months ago or 4 months ago, we can say Liverpool is going to crush PSG with the form which Liverpool was in the last 3-4 months. But right now, PSG, they are not that. Man to man, player to player, they can't stand Liverpool. But the way they are playing, you don't want to give.
Let me shock you.
Give me.
You see, I feel sorry for Liverpool team. This is the first time we have a PSG whereby nobody expects them to win the Champions League. This is the first time a PSG team does not have Cavani, Messi, Neymar,
and Kylian Mbappe.
The pressure is no longer on them. Now we have a PSG team that everybody is scoring. A PSG team that they have nothing to lose. We die, we live, we live. For me, I think PSG will scale through, because right now nobody expects them to win the Champions League. They are enjoying their football, and that will reflect. Aside from Dembele, who else can you pick out in that team to say it will give us surprises? But other players are scoring. Carvajal is scoring from midfield anywhere you want to. For me, I think Liverpool should be scared of this fixture. For me, I'm going with PSG. They will go ahead.
When I want to start this podcast, I had my podcast spread. For every podcast, I have my podcast spread. I wanted to start with Liverpool, and I wish starting this podcast would have been, 3-4 months ago. From which Liverpool was 3-4 months ago.
Exactly.
Without Kvaratskhelia in PSG, without informed Barcola in PSG, without a Dembele which the whole world have been cursing, but right now he's trying to get his form.
He's back. He's performing.
Wale, who takes this?
Do they play low block?
No.
Do they attack?
They do. And they have their front three is crazy right now.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing before you say
And they are all
something.
scoring.
Before you say something.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Liverpool. I know Liverpool is going to scale through. Forget about this Kvaratskhelia, Barcola, and content and the like.
Are you God Almighty? How would you say Liverpool will scale through?
This is
it's
my
a
point.
disrespect to PSG.
Alright, this is why I feel Liverpool will scale through. PSG side, I've watched a couple of games with PSG side, and I've watched 99% of Liverpool games. Don't let them have the ball. Don't let these three guys in front, the Barcola, Dembele, and Kvaratskhelia, don't let them have the ball. If Liverpool can absorb this and take the ball away from them, not letting these three guys do anything they want with the
And
ball.
don't forget,
Liverpool
has dropped form from first half of the season.
But do you believe this Liverpool is much more compact and much more of a team than this PSG
right
now.
Right now, Liverpool is struggling, but people are not seeing it.
And we can say the struggle comes from the game of Aston Villa. We can tell, and also
just
losing
Aston
against
Villa.
Plymouth. Liverpool used their third.
It shows they don't even have a bench in that game. That shows they don't have a bench.
All right, let's give Wale. Wale, you have the mic.
I mean,
Because
I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a Liverpool fan.
I wish.
And the confidence.
I wish the man behind the camera.
He's a Liverpool fan too. I know he's really boiling right now.
Stand for him and represent.
So I will always say it's easy to banter, but can you put your money on it? That's the number one question. Can you put your money where your mouth is? Okay, so I asked two questions. Do they play low block? Because these are the type of teams that we struggle against. A team that plays low block. If you attack us, you will score. I know several channels where you can score from.
Right.
But are we not going to score you? We will outscore you. I don't care Bakola, I don't care Kvaratskhelia, what do you call his name? He played for Napoli, right?
But he's been doing good at PSG.
I'm not disputing. We even tried to buy him. He's a good player.
Very, very.
When a team plays 7 games in the group stage, 8 games, won 7, scored 17 goals, conceded only 5. Won in places like Germany against Leipzig. Won in places like the San Siro, the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium against AC Milan. Trashed Madrid. It should have been like 6-0 that night. In the run during that week that we played a lot of difficult teams. Brighton, Manchester City. You think that is a joke, right? You think Liverpool played to this point. We shall see. I don't like to talk too much, but it's going to be a tough game. I'm not disrespecting PSG.
Reward, for Liverpool.
I'm not disrespecting them, but trust me, we have everything to beat them. Liverpool chose games to win and games not to win. If you look at against PSG, we could have fielded our first 11. PSV, we could have, but because we are competing on almost all fronts, we are in the FA, the Carabao final, the Champions League. We didn't need that game. You understand? We played small boys and we lost.
But I think what Moses is trying to say, based on the fact that PSG will skate through, because PSG press Brest well. They press their Brest.
Yes.
Like
Who is Brest? Who is Brest?
So maybe
Brest is just like
it's only a team that is good that can beat you 7-0.
You don't like Brest?
I love Brest. I'm a big fan of Brest.
You're a big fan of Brest.
Any day, any time.
But PSG,
will you also pay to watch?
I will do anything.
So if you are Brest and you lose 7-0, how would you have?
It's not easy when you are being pressed and you still want to have a composure.
So because PSG press Brest, PSG will not press.
Oh my God! The host of this podcast is something else. Don't forget that is not the highest win in Europe. This same Liverpool team you are talking about trashed Besiktas 8-0. So whatever you have done is something some people have done in the years past. So don't use that.
Whatever PSG have done to Brest.
If they have pressed Brest 7 times,
Liverpool can do more. That's what I'm trying to say.
This is Gold Rush.
I don't know what
this is. And then we want to say very big thank you to the fans and the listeners, and for also supporting us. We want to say a very massive thank you to those that have been sending messages to us. Larry, when are you going to be back? Sending to our co-host as well. When are we going to be back?
Yeah.
Yes, we are back. There's a lot of logistics, for us recording this and just trying to make sure we fix everything. And now we are back. Sit back and relax for the fans' questions. Have a good day.
Hi guys, this is Big Demi. Welcome to the fan segment of Gold Rush Football TV. Many people, they've been asking questions, and there's this question that I want to pick out from the questions that some of our listeners have been asking. A lot of people really don't know if this Champions League format is clearer enough for everybody, and some, maybe it's easy for some people to get the format and all that. But this question comes in and it says, I know it's still early though, but I need to ask you guys. is this UCL format, is it more clearer than the previous format? Wale, let me have your thought about it.
Clearer, I wouldn't say it is more clearer than the group phase which we used to, play. It's not clearer because it's the first time we are playing this format. But I feel it gives more opportunity to lesser or smaller teams, to play the likes of, the Madrid but it's not as clear as the group phase that we used to know.
Moses, your thoughts?
It's easy for anyone to say it's not clear because it's new. So, but with time, just as we were used to the group stages of playing 4 teams in a group, you play 3 teams and then gather up your points. This time around, you're playing different teams, to get as much as points you can get. So, for now, nobody will want to say it's clearer because of it's a new format. Anything new, it takes time before people embrace it. But trust me, in the part of the fans, it's interesting because right now you can play 7 different teams that you may not have ever played in 3-4 years being in the Champions League. So I don't think it's clear. Anybody will say it's not clear, but I think it's fun and interesting.
Yeah, like you said, to be honest with you, when they started the league format, to me I was like, what was this? I don't even know who Arsenal is going to play.
Exactly.
I don't know maybe how many away games we're going to have, how many home games,
Exactly.
Well, like you said, new formats, new rules is going to come to people as if like,
it takes time.
It takes time before people will embrace it, like you said. And to you,
Mm.
Wale, as well, I understand it's not going to be clearer like you said. To me, it wasn't clearer, and I believe by next season, everybody will know where they stand.
Right.
Yeah, so we have a fan here that says, he asked a question. He said, start bench drop. Everything had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Amorim. Start bench drop. ETH, everything had Solskjaer, OGS, and then Amorim.
Let me. I don't know.
Start bench drop.
Just take a decision on the 3.
ETH.
You mean are we going by the managerial
I
aspect
don't
or
care.
what?
It's your choice.
It could be the result, it could be
It depends
their
on
tactics,
yes.
So let me tell you something. Going by these 3 managers, we have one on the hot seat right now. Things are not going too well for him. That's Amorim. And of these 3 managers, as bad reached, ETH won 2 trophies. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took Manchester United to, I think, 5 finals, right? And it didn't even win any. So I would say start ETH.
Okay.
And I would say bench OGS, because let me be honest with you, my opinion anyways, I'm not a Manchester United fan. Under OGS, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I could see the way they play. They play brilliantly. Only that maybe they lack some personnel. But a manager took it to final like 5 different times. And those finals, he played against top teams. You were playing against Klopp, against Pep Guardiola and all that. It's not easy.
So you drop Amorim.
I will drop Amorim because Amorim, you came to Manchester United. People thought you were the Messiah, and you've lost like how many games out of 12? You lost 7 EPL.
Understandable. Wale?
So for me, I will look at the era in which these 3 guys were, coaches at Manchester United. I would say they didn't have the right materials for me. Like Man U was going down at the point these 3 guys were at the end. So I want to look at the tactics, how they played, just as you said. For me, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they played really, well. So I will start Ole. I would bench ETH.
Okay. And you drop
Amorim. I would drop Amorim.
Okay, so nice. So for me, I'm going differently with the 3 of you. So for me, I will start ETH because of his success in Holland and his success in England. So
the same thing I said.
you may not. Yes, I will go with your first choice, starting ETH. because of his success in Holland and his success in England.
Yes.
I will go with benching Amorim because of his success in Portugal. Though he might be struggling right now, if you still keep Amorim and OGS, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I will still pick Amorim any day, anytime because
Above.
of his pedigree, what is coming, what is bringing, his past antecedents.
What he has done in the Portuguese
what he
league.
has done in the Portuguese league. It's too early right now for me to want to start judging Amorim in England. Yes, I know 6 months is a long time, but it's still early. He hasn't gotten the full season. So
Yeah.
I'm going to bench Amorim, and then definitely I'm dropping Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because if you have 20 finals without winning anyone, it's still the same thing as 0. 0 plus 0.
True. Is it? Yeah.
Do you think? Sorry, Wale. Do you think Amorim, with the current Manchester United players that he has now, he can take them to any finals?
It's difficult. I am one of the fans that have always said that Amorim came into a team that the profile is different from what he plays. He plays a 3-5-2 formation. And that formation, go and check the history of Bayern Leverkusen when they won the Bundesliga. Go and check Antonio Conte when he won the league with Chelsea. You must have a 2 and 3 who are specialists, not just a specialist. There will be a specialist in scoring and in defending. And in Manchester United, I can only count maybe 1 or 2 players that fit into Amorim's formation, which is the injured, what's his name?
Luke Shaw?
The Argentine guy
Oh.
that's injured. That has
Martinez.
Martinez. Aside from Martinez and probably a Dogu that he just bought, every other player doesn't fit into that. I don't know why he took the job, because Amorim took that job because he wants to answer that name, Manchester United. But he knew, for him to have said, can you let me come in June? He knew he was getting into a murky waters. So
Yeah.
the profile of the players doesn't fit into his tactics.
Yeah.
So
Also, so we have a question from a fan who says, "Dear Gold Rush, do you guys enjoy or hate seeing teams in the same domestic league face each other in European competitions?" What do you think, guys?
Let me go first. I think the last time we had Chelsea facing Liverpool at the time, it was hell.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to tell who would win such encounter, because it's a different ball game when you're meeting a team that is playing badly in another league. You can easily want to say, hey, I'm going to beat. For example, if Chelsea meets Liverpool or Arsenal in the Champions League, irrespective of the form of those other teams, it will still going to be extra difficult because they know each other so well. There is so much at stake. So I don't enjoy Chelsea meeting teams from the same England. I would rather meet a Real Madrid than than meeting a team in the same league.
I think what you said just explained why PSG pressed Brest like 7 for 7.
Pressed them because they didn't care who
As an Arsenal fan, I actually do not like to face the same team that have been playing week in, week out from the same association. You know, the 3 times that we faced such teams, we've not gone through that round. The first one was Arsenal Chelsea in 2004-5. Yeah, 2004-5. No, was it? No, not 4-5. 2003-2004 season. You know, Chelsea that we were beating 2-1, 2-0 in the league, dumped us out of the round of 16. The next time it happened was against Manchester United in semi-final.
That was the Ronaldo era.
Ronaldo era that they went on to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
It didn't go well with Arsenal. The other time was Arsenal Liverpool. We know how it ended. So I really don't favor such, but it is what it is. If the draw comes through, but we know some draws. UEFA, they know what they are doing anyways, you know.
So, but the question is, do you hate or enjoy seeing it?
I don't like it.
Do you hate or enjoy seeing it?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
For me, I don't like it. I don't like it too. But I also feel that UEFA does this just to eliminate, you know.
So we have a fan that asked another question. The fan said, what do you think is the main reason behind Manchester City's poor performance lately? Is it tactical issue, players form, coaching, or something else? I love this question. I read it from the fan that asked this question.
I will go by saying this. Before, I used to say why can't you win without Rodri? And it's telling on them now. Like
Yeah.
Rodri's absence is one of the big factors that Manchester City they've struggled. And I also put the blame to Pep.
Okay.
Pep knows that without Rodri,
Okay.
he can tell us that, oh, maybe all the fans can tell us that, oh,
So are you
there's
saying
no Rodri,
Manchester
no City.
City is Rodri FC?
They are Rodri FC now. I can categorically tell you that Manchester City, they are Rodri FC. And now, look at it now. De Bruyne, I believe, is time to leave, right? Who are they buying to replace De Bruyne? And we cannot say everything and not touch base on what Pep is going through. He went through divorce, right? And that alone can also be another factor.
But we've seen a player like Enzo Fernandez go through divorce and he became a better player this season.
Even Kylian Mbappe has an off-pitch problem, and he has scored 28 or 29 goals.
Problem, but it's just like you have a CEO.
Okay.
The CEO owns the company. If everything is happening to the CEO, he can tell on the whole organization. So
What do you think?
what?
For me, I think it's more of, as Demola said, is more about not replacing players at the right time. De Bruyne is long overdue, to be replaced. Rodri, an important. I don't expect a big team as Manchester City not to have at least 2 defensive midfielders. I mean, I don't think it's bad. If you look at Arsenal, they have players who might not be like for like, but they could be like a makeshift. Look at Liverpool. We had a problem with the defensive midfield, but we shifted somebody into it. So, but for me, I feel it's a Guardiola problem, because if you don't buy, it's not because the owners don't trust you. It's because you don't want to. You understand? So, but now we can see that he's buying. He's doing some panic buys. You understand?
Yeah.
So I still feel it's on Guardiola, because he should have looked for someone. He could have looked for someone to play that role. There was a time John Stones played 6, right? Played the defensive midfield, and he did well. So for me, it's more of Guardiola problem, not replacing, and a little bit of the off.
I have
pitch
this question. I've seen it like 4 times in one of our videos, and I want to ask you guys. Thank God this question came again. Which title race is most difficult to predict? 1, EPL. 2, La Liga. The third one is Serie A. And I want you guys to tell me why.
You mean this season or in general?
In general.
In general.
I think, till thy kingdom come, maybe things change tomorrow. It will be EPL. Do you know why? Every season in the EPL, we usually have
Drama.
drama, and it is hard to say who is going to win. Like right now, I can bet my money that Liverpool is not going to win the league next season, because of I don't believe in the style of play and the consistent and the way Liverpool is killing teams this season. I can sit down and tell you next season, if Chelsea find their rhythm, buy a striker, buy defenders, buy a goalkeeper, Chelsea may be a contender next season. But in La Liga,
How many goalkeepers are you guys want to
asked
buy?
I think Chelsea will have to buy the whole of Lens.
Hold on, ask me a question. In La Liga, it is usually a 3-way or 2-way team. If it's not Real Madrid, it's Barcelona. And once in a blue moon,
Tottenham of Spain.
So it's usually a 2-way horse in Spain. It's usually predictable. But right now in England, even Liverpool fans cannot beat their chest. In fact, Wale was saying it off camera today, that if Anslot manages to win the league this season, that they don't mind if he doesn't win it in another 5 years. It shows that they know that
They can't.
next season is not predictable.
Why?
In Italy, I will even say that Italy is even more unpredictable than Spain, because we've seen in the last 5 seasons that Napoli came in, AC Milan, Inter Milan. So I can even say that the closest league to England is Italy, Italian Serie A, because it's also difficult to want to say that this season Juve or
There's a clear favorite.
A clear favorite. So number 1 favorite, the one that is unpredictable, is England, followed by Italy, then 3rd Spain.
Yeah, for me, I think it's EPL too, because I think every season we've had, there was a season when Manchester United and I think Manchester City when the trophy was being moved between Manchester City to between this Etihad to Old Trafford and back to Etihad and Old Trafford 2010. So I think it's the EPL. And I remember last season too when Manchester City were supposed to lose to Aston Villa and Liverpool will win the league. Not last season, about three seasons ago. And we all know what happened when
even last season,
Gundogan, even Arsenal, and So I think EPL is not a league you can say you can predict. So, but the reason why I said we may not win next season is we are also trying to avoid the City problem. That is why Liverpool they've not signed the 3 key players that we all know. Like trying to avoid the City problem by replacing those guys when you are supposed to replace them. You understand? Even if you know how important they are, you can still give them some years, maybe a year, but you don't want to make them a key part of the team. One of the fans also asked the question that if Liverpool, okay, this person directed it to me, said Wale.
Hold on.
Okay.
Before you take that,
Okay.
let me pour out my opinion
Okay,
about the
sorry.
toughest of the 3.
Yeah.
I will also stick by what you guys said.
Yeah.
EPL for sure, because EPL every season different drama.
Exactly.
From the bookmakers, they would have thought it's either going to be Man City or Arsenal, or even Arsenal or Man City.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Slot, new manager of Liverpool, came in, and
Nobody give us the chance.
he just took the league upon his head like that, and they are leading. And look at
Wale, people, we gave you. No, don't say nobody gave you.
No, nobody, for real.
Opta start in August.
City, Arsenal, Liverpool.
But not
Yes.
The only team that would have won the league this season and everybody would be surprised would have been Chelsea, Aston Villa.
Moses, why did you say Liverpool, City, Arsenal? Why did you put it in that in that order?
Hierarchy of order. It is City, Arsenal.
What chance? What percentage chance for City? What was the probability?
I believe it was going to be
90.
In fact, no.
Or 80.
In fact, let me tell you.
80 to
No.
what?
In fact, Arsenal comes higher this season because I felt the momentum that they ended last season, they will go ahead. In my heart of heart, I felt Arsenal will win this league this season because they were hot in the last 2 seasons. For them to miss it this season is still. I can't say they've missed it because they still have 13 games. And I've seen Liverpool have bottled the league with 13, 14, 14
last season.
Both Arsenal and Liverpool, they are both bottlers. I don't trust each of them.
It's better to bottle it than to be 17 points away.
Leave Chelsea out of this.
Okay, so let me ask this question. This person
ask the
said,
question.
Wale, if Liverpool don't win the league this year, would you consider it as a failure? EJ,
It's an abysmal failure. Complete failure. They don't win the league this season.
What about you?
Let's call it spade a spade.
Yes.
A failure.
Big failure.
Yeah,
Big
for
failure.
me.
And I know if you guys end up not winning the league, you will shift the blame down to Arsenal, that Arsenal is the bottler.
So I have a question for you, Wale. I'm also a fan of this, even though we are presenters and analysts. We're also a fan.
Yeah.
Wale, do you think this is Darwin Núñez's final season at Liverpool? And Wale, for you, I have a question for you so that we'll rush, we'll make it quick. Do you think Arsenal can catch up with Liverpool? So I'll go with you first, Wale.
The answer is a capital yes. Do I think his final season? Yes. Why? Because there was a time he deleted all Liverpool posts from his Instagram. There was a time he liked himself putting on a Milan jersey. Currently on the pitch, he's not putting in the performance, and he looks like a striker that is low, on confidence. So it's a big
lovers of
it's a big yes.
Darwin Núñez from our side. This is not his last season. He will remain there.
We can keep him. No, the truth is we can keep him, but we all know that Liverpool will definitely sign. We can sign a striker and still keep him.
But you guys refused to sell it because there was 80 million from Saudi.
You can't take an investment decision like that. You can't sell without buying. We are in the midst of winning at least 2-3 trophies. It's just like Arsenal not buying a player in January. Is it costing you guys now or not?
It is now.
So we don't have a replacement. Why should you sell what you have?
If you sell Núñez for 70 or 80 and give Nottingham Forest 50 for Chris Wood, they will put.
I'm sorry. Liverpool is not a team that buys. So the truth is, Liverpool is not a team that buys like Chelsea. You can buy Chris Wood. It doesn't fit our
But
profile.
Chris Wood is better off than Nunes this season.
You understand? No, it doesn't fit our profile. I'm sorry. Thank you.
How old is Chris Wood? Is it not 36?
Maybe
Doesn't matter.
Chelsea does not care. They can buy. They can buy.
Striker's job is to score goals.
They can buy my grandfather. Chelsea.
Nunes.
No, go with the question that I asked.
No, let him also answer that. Nunes.
Nunes, I think after this season, Nunes should just pack his belonging from
We don't
EPL.
want him to back. We the lovers of Nunes, it should remain there.
Funny enough, you have a Nunes in your team
Using
too.
empty goals.
Funny enough,
Jackson, right?
I showed the cameraman a
Jackson
start.
is better off than Nunes.
I'll show you a start now.
Them now.
Listen, I'll show you a start. I know you will argue it. You know the person that has the worst
Worst
chance.
conversion rate.
No, not conversion. So in terms of percentage, you know, what's
Goals and assists.
the worst missed chance in the Premier League right now? Jackson is.
Also, look at the goals and assists. Let me go with you, Demi. Let me go with you. The question. Do you think Arsenal can catch this season?
Do I think Arsenal can catch Liverpool this season? The chances is becoming slimmer day by day, week by week. You know, we could have if we had won today's game. And I'm very, very mad at what happened, the outcome of the game. Losing to West Ham 1-0 at the Emirates, while we know that there's a potential loss waiting for Liverpool tomorrow at Etihad Stadium. The league is still open. To be honest with you, it's still open. It just depends on what Arsenal is going to do next between now and the end of the rest of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's still a mathematical chance.
Wale, what do you think? Do you think Arsenal can catch it?
No, it's a no. I've always said it. Even if they have Saka and they have Havertz and we drew Villa and they won today, I'll still say it's a no. We see, you know one thing about football, we know the truth.
What happened last season, Wale?
Let's stop. No, listen. If you, I said it in our group page that if you had the type, EJ, sentiments apart, if you had the type of injuries that we had last season, trust me, you'll be in maybe number 14. Trust me, to key players. So even if you have those guys, what were you doing? What were you doing when we started the league? You had opportunity. There was a time we didn't even play in one of these weekends, and you guys still did not make up the points. You were supposed to take advantage like 3 or 4 times now. You failed.
Not up to 4 times.
We
Not
used
up
up our
to 4
time,
times. So before we call it a day on this podcast,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to all our supporters, all our fans. I want to say thank you to Wale Abs. I want to say thank you to the Food Closet. I want to say thank you to Mazi. He's not here today, you know. Thank you all the fans for watching, and you know, we are back. We are back and better. I know.
Yeah, watch out for more.
We've not been
Watch out for more
dropping.
episodes.
We've not been dropping our content week by week.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things happening, but we are back and better.